if you want to utilize your guidance system effectively, remind yourself on a regular basis what you want so that your intention is clear and source energy is in alignment with it. And then on a day-to-day basis, as you are thinking your thoughts or reading the newspaper or listening to the weather reports or hearing about the seismic action, as you give your attention, you can tell by the way you feel whether you are where you're wanting to be. But the one thing that we do want to say, because we can feel the direction that you're pointing your comments, and it's certainly fine, but we want you to understand that once you are in sync with who you really are, your impulse will be to go somewhere because it's nice, not flee from someplace because it's scary. You know, we've been talking about the contrast which shoots these rockets into your vibrational escrow, and that your vibrational escrow is amassing this culmination of who you are. You are constantly amending your desires. And so these desires or your future experience is formulating in this magnificent way. And as you get in touch with what feels good and you follow that good feeling impulse, what begins to happen is you find yourself not only avoiding things you don't want, but you're not even aware that you're avoiding them. In other words, when you're really tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you're not even aware of the problems that you are missing.
Yes.
Jerry and Esther remember one day being at an intersection. They were new to the city of San Antonio, and they were on a newly constructed freeway that was still partly under construction, and they came to a place on this highway where they were going to make a left turn across the traffic. And so Jerry was driving, which is odd in itself, and they pulled to this intersection, and as they sat there ready to turn, the oncoming traffic was clear, and Jerry had the impulse to go and then a sudden strong impulse to stay put. And at the same moment, the impulse to stay put came over Jerry. Esther said, "Stay right here." And Jerry said, "Why?" And Esther said, "I don't know." And at that moment, a fast-moving car, must have been doing at least 120 miles an hour, came up over the hill behind them, going in the same direction that they were, and passed them on the left side. He would have hit them broadside if Jerry had made his turn. Well, that was a very reassuring thing to Esther. In other words, it was an impulse of staying here rather than going there. But now what they're beginning to notice is that fewer and fewer of those impulses are happening because they are not getting as close to those kind of dynamic situations. In other words, the more they are following their heart, the better they are feeling, the more things are unfolding so that they don't see traffic accidents. They not only have they not ever been involved in them, they don't see them, they don't get close to them. Their vibrational proximity is so different from them. They remember sitting one day in a wide intersection in San Jose, and they're sitting there, again, oddly enough, Jerry is driving. It seems that that's when most of the trouble happens. Not because of Jerry, it's Esther's panic that brings it about. And the lights are not changing. The lights are remaining red. They're stopped and stopped and stopped and stopped and stopped. It was a very wide intersection. And Jerry is looking around. He can see no traffic coming from any direction. And he says to Esther, "I don't see any reason that I shouldn't turn left. Do you?" And Esther said, "I don't see any reason that you shouldn't turn left." And so Jerry turns left as a train comes barreling down upon them. The engineer's eyes were as big as saucers as he is blowing his horn. And Esther said, "I can see the headlines now. Deliberate creators creamed by a train." Now, neither one of them had the impulse then. In other words, so Esther is saying, why did we not have some sense of warning? And we say, because by this stage of your development, we are leading you toward. In other words, we gave Jerry, once he had made the decision to go, we gave him the strong impulse to go very, very quickly. And if a train misses you by an inch or by a mile, it still missed you, yes? And so what we are really saying to you is, when you get in sync with who you are, sometimes you like the drama of the contrast. In other words, there's nothing wrong with contrast. We're not guiding you away from contrast. In fact, you chose this extremely contrasting time to be born because you knew that it would summon the most from you, you see. And so you have the best of all worlds. You have a contrasting environment which stimulates you in a powerful way. You have recognition of law of attraction and awareness of your own guidance system. This is the crest of the wave that everyone wants to ride, you see. So Don't worry about getting creamed by a train. It's a very quick journey into the non-physical, and it's nice here where we are. Don't worry about anything. Don't fear death. Just live happily ever after. Take a page out of the book of your beasts and live life every day to the fullest, and worry not about what's coming next around the corner. And if in your now you're tending to your vibration, it is our absolute promise to you that every day will be full of wonderful things. And what could be better than a life like that? You were never promised eternal life in this body, but you were promised eternal life.
Right.
And you get to create the way you live, the way you play, the way you love, the way you die. You have control of all of that. Script it, write it down. Esther has decided happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, dead.